Imagine a coach using his winger in the middle, a left winger who runs to the right side to open a passing lane to a striker, or a left winger who acts like an attacking midfielder in the heart of the opposition defense. So Guardiola has given clear signs of a tactical revolution. You are now seeing a left back acting like a deep playmaker in the middle of the pitch, while two wingers have inverted to act as attacking midfielders. This is against Guardiola's positional system, where these players will have more of a fixed position. But now, Guardiola is using the opposite of positional play with extreme proximity. In fact, this particular sequence actually ended up as a goal. The sequence starts with the left back dictating play, while the left centre back has moved wide to replace him. Here the opposition is defending in a 4-4-2 block. Two centre midfielders are protecting the space between the lines, and there is no penetration possibility here. So City played it back to trigger a press and stretch the opposition. Now we can see space opening up in between the lines, and it's because the left back central positioning has dragged the centre midfielder with him. As of now, City has 4 central options against 2 centre midfielders. Here Foden and Doku are creating a 2 vs 1 overload against the right centre midfielder, while Cherki and O'Reilly are creating the second overload against the other midfielder. So the opposition is really vulnerable here. But this will not be possible if the left back and left winger stayed in their original positions. Then the centre midfielders could easily mark both Foden and Cherki. So in this case, City would be forced to play wide. This is where the genius of Pep comes into play. No midfield will be prepared to defend both the left winger and the left back inward into the centre. Here Pep is maintaining the structural balance by using the defensive midfielder as a temporary centre back. He has an escape outlet on both sides. Here one centre midfielder dropped to cover Cherki, but still the other one was overloaded by Doku and Foden. So Doku dragged him wide and Foden was free to receive between the lines. Here the threat of Haaland is pinning two centre backs. The penetrative ball triggered the centre back to press, and Foden brilliantly found Cherki, who released Haaland for the goal. If Cherki was wide as a half space option, this combination would not be possible. In a conventional system similar to Arteta's Arsenal, he would be in the half space and there would be only one attacking midfielder in these areas. Now the progression would be through the half spaces and it would be predictable. But Pep has broken his own positional football frameworks to use his best technical players in their comfort zones. Here City has 5 centre players and it has created a 3 vs 3 in the back lane. So the centre back is isolated against Haaland, and in an ideal case, Cherki can combine with Doku to release Haaland. Here no one can mark Doku because he is acting like a 5th midfielder. Pep already has 4 midfielders near the ball and no opposition will have more than 3 midfielders in their team. So usually the 4th midfielder will be closed on by a centre back. But the mad genius of Pep is countering it by using the winger as the 5th midfielder. Even if the right back decides to follow Doku, he will leave the entire right flank exposed. So Guardiola has created an undefendable situation and he just needs his players to do the technical part. They can even replicate the previous sequence by using the Ford and Cherki combo. So the whole idea is to let the tight space technicians like Ford and Cherki operate together in these hot zones. Here we can again see Doku joining them to create that normal 3-man midfield against the opposition's double pivot. Now it's a simple overhead ball from the 4th midfielder to find the 5th midfielder between the lines and the whole press is bypass. By using this system, City has a direct dribbler and a through ball expert in the same zone. In addition, they have a deadly striker to attack the goal. It's a dream situation any coach would love to create consistently. See how they are again creating that midfield overload with 5 midfielders. Cherki has complete freedom to move anywhere. On paper, he is expected to be on the right half, but by moving towards the ball, he has created that 2 vs 1 against the centre midfielder. Here Foden and Nico pin 2 Liverpool midfielders and Doku and Cherki overloaded the 3rd midfielder to beat the press. See where Doku is positioned now. He is a left winger on the right side, and the whole structure is the exact opposite of a typical positional system. It's incredibly difficult to keep track of a left winger moving into central areas, and Doku has become a nuisance for the opposition in the central zones, in addition to the distraction he usually causes on the flanks. So Guardiola is leading a tactical revolution by going against his own positional system, and I think more coaches will get inspired by his new ideas in the near future.